You guessed it, where we are, Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. So, it's Saturday morning here, 8 a.m. We're a little early. We've started 2 minutes early, I know. Got a busy day today.
We have.
We've had a busy week, really. We didn't get a lot done, but we've just been super busy with different things, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I've got, what do we got? Well, we probably should tell you what day it is, shouldn't we? We've already mentioned it's Saturday. Yeah. So May 30, 2025. And wow, we've only got
31st, Kim.
Yeah, 31st, I should say. Yeah, that's right.
Lost the day.
It's the first tomorrow, yeah. I'm in America. I'm helping the guys out over there. It's only Friday over there.
Yeah.
It's always confusing when I go over, just for a day or so. Yeah, it's 13 degrees Celsius outside, which is 55.4 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got a fair bit of work happening presently, and I mean a lot of work, really, I should say. I'm just going to try and... There he is. Say hello, Graham.
G'day, how is everyone?
Australian colloquialism, g'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
How you going?
Chuck a shrimp on the barbie.
Yes. So, what's occurred over this month since our last live broadcast? We've been doing a few Facebook lives. Anyone, or some of you may have been watching those or having a look. They seem fairly popular. We do them when we can. It's not, we're not able to all the time, but when we think of it, we'll try and do at least one a week. We'll try and give you notice in the Facebook page, but sometimes it's just spontaneous and we decide to do it. What Graham's doing there at the moment, we're working on an abracadabra. Now, this game we did a video on about, well over a year ago now. We did a whole playfield swap on it.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. And just above Graham's left shoulder there, there's you can see the abracadabra artwork on a goat shed sign. And that was made to do that with the playfield swap. So abracadabra is getting reassembled because we want that to go to our Pinfest in September, third week in September. And it should be a big hit there. I mean, abracadabra, I think we've had one or two there before, maybe over the years. I can't recall.
But this is probably going to be the best one.
This will probably be the best. Well, will be the best one because it's all been repainted and everything like that. Next month, being June, of course, we're running another training course. Gee, I don't know. This is probably about the 15th, at least, we've run. Easy. So we've got 4 people coming to that. We had a 5th person, but they had to pull out this week for whatever reason. And we've got 3 of those 4 people coming down from Brisbane, from Queensland. So, you know, that's a fair effort. We've had people down there from there before, and I guess they just make a bit of a weekend of it. Hey, Jeff from Michigan, how you doing? Hope it's warming up over there for you. It's getting cooler here in Australia. Now, with the training course, we've changed them a little bit over the years. We're doing a little bit more troubleshooting for people. We've always got a pinball machine here, and what we've got on the week that it happens, we decide what we'll do with it. So, you know, we've often shown people how to jump the circuit with alligator clips to find a fault. Now, we did a whole video on that about 2 months ago now, which is very popular. It only goes for about 15 or 20 minutes. If you haven't looked at it, please do. Hi from Georgia, JKTN. Hi. Georgia in the south. I have a friend in Alabama. He lives in Muscle Shoals. His name's Will White. Will's a bit of a pinball historian. He works with a lot of people doing stuff. He's done things with Pacific Pinball Museum. He did a lot of interviews with Wayne Nines when he was alive and John Osborne. And he has his own YouTube channel called Rizzle Razzaluno. Rizzle Razzaluno. So it's Uno.
Uno.
Yeah, Uno. Do you know?
No, don't know.
I don't know either.
No.
But anyway, it's worth a look if anyone wants to have a look at that. It's a good channel to have a look at for some history. You know, Wayne Nines, of course, was a prolific designer for Gottlieb, and he worked there for a very long time. And yeah, it's actually all documented, so that's pretty cool. I've watched them a few times now. What I'll try and do, if I remember, I'll put a link up to that site on our Facebook page. I don't know if I'll get a chance to do it today. After the broadcast, we've got a guy coming to pick up a kingpin, which we've fixed up for him, and we've got to help him load that onto his car. And then I have to leave early today as I have a pressing engagement. I'm going on what we call a pub crawl here in Australia. So we started at one pub and we're pre-planning several. And
it's a big Aussie tradition, isn't it?
It's an Australian tradition. I do that with my mates at the pub. So that's going to be a good day. There's boys and girls going, so a bit of a mixture. We don't discriminate.
Any goats going?
No goats. That damn Spanky's not coming.
Oh.
He got so drunk last time, made a disgrace of himself. So that training course we're going to run, we do charge people for that, and I don't know that we have too many people from Australia watching, but we still have a couple of vacancies if anyone is interested in coming along. And just while I talk about that, because a lot of you people that view us are from overseas, no, we won't be videoing it or giving access to it. It's just too difficult for us. We've sort of considered it, thought about it, and there's a few things come into play. You've essentially got to have another person here, like a videographer. You've also got people who come to the course that for some reason, professional reasons or private reasons, may not want to be videoed. So all that comes into it, and hence that's why we don't do it. But you guys over in America have got guys like Mark Gibson's Fun with Pinball. He does, from time to time, live training courses on site. You just got to check them out on his webpage. He does the once per month. There'll probably be one coming up in a week or so on a Friday. The Fun with Pinball clinics. So you've got all that access to you. So really this thing we do here in Australia, and even is really just for people here in Australia, I'm afraid. We've been asked a few times to travel to West Australia, which is a long trip. It's right across the other side of the country. But we can't. Like, we have too much stuff that we use, and it's just not practical.
I don't think we find the time anyway.
In any way, shape or form to do it. Yeah, well, that's right, yeah. So that sort of won't happen. But the money we're receiving from the training courses, we always sink back into the goat shed. Like, for argument's sake, we will be buying some of those tin goat shed signs. And we'll probably do that toward the end of June or July. So we'll have them hopefully by August. Right, Jeff, speaking of troubleshooting with the alligator clips, back in the 90s I bought a pin, and opening it up there was a busted solder joints held together with marijuana roach alligator clips. Oh, gee, you find all sorts of things in pinball machines. It's crazy, isn't it? Some of the things people do to them to get them into free play, and some of the hacks that are done, we scratch our heads. So yeah, the signs will be coming. We're so busy at the moment, we've actually put jobs on hold. So this abracadabra, we promised the owner that we would commence it in June. Well, we've honoured that. We started it yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. And that's earlier than June, isn't it? But we've had to tell people, look, I'm sorry, we can't do any more jobs. We had one guy, he wanted us to do a jungle queen. We rang him up and we said, we're ready for you. He said he had to borrow a pickup truck to get it here. He couldn't do it and messed around and mucked around. And we had a lot of rain, so pinball machines on the back of uncovered pickup trucks don't go hand in hand. But when he rings back, we're just going to have to tell him, I'm sorry, you've gone and fallen down the queue again. And when Graham was at the pub the other day, did you go to the pub?
Did I?
Yeah. Didn't you? You got a call at the pub about a quick draw.
Yes, I did.
Did you take Spanky?
You're not allowed.
You know, he's banned from another pub.
Only for a month.
Banned for a month?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So. Yeah, how about a quick draw? And he told the guy the same thing, give us a ring in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Did you? Or?
Well, I said a month, just to see how we're travelling in case we've got a cancellation.
Yeah.
And you see, I was under the impression that he could leave it here. He said he's not in a fuss to get it done, so he could leave it here for 3 or 4 months. And I said, that's not happening.
Yeah, we haven't got the storage space.
No.
We had...
see that, Kim, while you're talking? Another blown... The whole switchblade's gone altogether.
Okay, so what Graham's showing you, I don't think I can zoom in with this, but what he's showing you is an end-of-stroke switch.
Yep, and it's on the 10 reel.
And they often...
usually the plastic breaks, but now the whole switchblade's missing. Right.
So Pinball Resource, Steve Young, has made a new switch without that plastic. The plastic's there as an insulator so it doesn't hit the frame, I believe.
Yes.
And
some of the older ones have got a plastic button on the frame.
A little, yeah. Yeah, because if the switch shorts out, that's the end-of-stroke switch on the frame, you get all sorts of weird things happening.
All sorts of stuff.
So, yeah, you can buy them now, but we make our own. What are you using? Just relay switches?
Yeah, relay switches, yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got a lot of old relays like we have, you can make your own.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a fault found already.
So,
and this one uses those terrible, the cards, the circuit boards, and they're the ones that do get really... they can get pitted.
Yeah, they do.
I think we had one of them. They get pitted badly in here, in this area here.
Yeah.
And this is that the one with the common going through for the linkage?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing. There's a wire here. That's the common link. Often the solder joint breaks inside. So if you're not getting a score or a match, that's one of the first things you do. Get your multimeter and make sure you've got continuity between that leg and that leg.
So some people just jump them from there. Actually, some of these have been jumped.
Oh, right, yeah.
But this one's okay.
It was a really, horrible idea the way, I think it was. They sort of went away on it and did that, but you get that. So, yeah, this Abra will, hopefully it won't be too big a problem for us. What else have we got on the go? We keep talking about it, but we finally bit the bullet the other day, and our lightning ball, which people really want to see, and some people even have shown interest in buying it, we really wanted to have it ready for Pinfest, and because of our time constraints, we've subcontracted getting the playfield done out to somebody else. So, and we've implied that we really need it back by late August, because we've got to then troubleshoot, or middle August actually. Earlier August would even be better, because we've got to troubleshoot it. One thing I may have a problem with there, a lot of the wires are gone all whitewashed, and when we pulled the motorboard out and pulled everything off to varnish the motorboard, the reset relay, every wire bar 2 fell off it. Every wire. So we've put them back where we think they go, according to the schematic, but we're obviously going to have to check out.
Some of the colours are not real good either.
Everyone knows with Gottlieb you've got the red and white, and the red ends up fading into white, and and you've got a problem.
Yeah.
Now, we've just been going over the back box insert, as you can clearly see. This is something we always do. And I just want to show you something. Here's the ball count unit that we've been working on out of this. When we got it, we noticed it was really tight. You know, it wouldn't work real well. Now, as you can see, this is really clean and everything. Been through the ultrasonic cleaner, hand polished it just with a rag, no solvents or anything. And there's a couple of things wrong with this. First of all, you can clearly see the cutout there. That's really, and it's almost worn down. Can you see the groove here? I'm going to travel from there to there. You can see it. So this pin here makes, with that pin there, that's the 6th position. So that's 0, ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4, ball 5, ball 6. And you'll hear about the 6th position on the schematic, or you'll read about it, I'm sorry. And in a 5-ball game, that's where the connectors make a circuit. You can kind of see that. Oh, it's a bit hard to illustrate, but what will often happen when they're like that, and this happens with games in this vintage, Buccaneer, this one, what else is around this era, Graham? A single player.
Jack's Open.
Yeah. You'll get it's a game over, but it'll kick another ball out into the shooter lane. And what it generally is that it's not making a good contact here. It could be the snowshoe stick, but in this case it'd be that rivet. So rather than replace those rivets, what we've done, we've had an old ball count unit and we've reconditioned it. So we'll have to do the same to this other one here when we pull it out. That just saves us the time.
Because we're just strapped for time.
We just haven't got a lot of time. So we didn't need to put any new rivets in that. We just polished them highly. And I think you'll agree they all look very nice.
Should work good.
Hopefully. Now, another problem with this ball count unit, have a look at this. When we got it, it wasn't driving properly, and I just pulled it apart and away I went. But look at this. I'm going to push that up, and that's jammed. I'm going to hook the spring on. And it's still jammed. What it is, this whole drive arm has been bent. We tried to straighten it out. I don't want to stretch that spring too much. We tried to straighten it out, but alas, it wouldn't work. I mean, that is really tight. Oh, I can barely move that. Now, you can see, I at first thought this wasn't quite perpendicular to the frame. This must be perpendicular. The case of this must be perpendicular to the frame of the ball count unit. You don't want it crooked, otherwise it pushes the plunger in and it can bind. Not quite that bad, but it will bind. So what we've had to do, we're not going to muck around with it. We took another ball count unit apart and we're going to replace that part, and that hopefully should fix it. So I'll get Graham when he's got a moment just to change it over, and we'll see how that goes. I can't really do it. I haven't got any room. Not being lazy. Then again, maybe I am.
A little bit lazy.
Yeah. So when he gets the old one off, I'll show you. You might be able to see how it's a little bent.
Jeez, it is tight, isn't it?
Oh, it's tight as. It's terrible. How it got bent, I mean, I'm buggered if I know. I mean, someone's bent it to try and adjust it or something with a pair of pliers. And I mean, that's the last thing you do. You've got to find out where something is binding. And often you fix that when you find where it's binding, it'll fix it. Now, Patrick Rigg, are you there? You had some questions. Oh, Kirkwood from Taunton, MA, that's, is that Massachusetts? I think it is. What the new rivets look like uninstalled? Yeah, we got them here somewhere. You got a ball count rivet, right?
Yeah, we've got a packet of
We've
them.
got a packet of them here. Now you buy these off PBR. Oh, well, you buy them where you want to actually, but I've mentioned before we buy all that stuff. Tony Chapman, morning. Of course we're up nice and early, Tony. We don't live in Melbourne. Yeah, well, the daylight saving ended here in April, so and I think it changed over because the season changed in the America.
Them ones are smaller, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Well, these are the right ones.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There they are, mate. It's a bit hard. There's a good view of them. There's a pack. We buy a few of them. They're not too dear. They're only tiny. But they've got their little heads on them.
They are a pain to put in.
They are a pain to put in. Now, we haven't got one, but I've got to find the note. I'll try and take one out to show you. With this out, to change them, you've really got to unsolder a rink and put it in like that. And put it in. You've got to drill them out at the back. We've done a video on this, by the way, if anyone wants to have a look. And then you've got a rivet. What do you call it? Press. Now there's one that I found at an automotive shop, and it's just down the road. It's 5 minutes drive from us, and we were going to buy one, and then we sort of out of sight, out of mind. We never bothered, and I've got to look up who. I think I asked Nick Shell, and he told me what the dimensions that were. There it is there. It's really hard to see, but that's the head of it, and I forget the size of them. But yeah, that's them. So you can buy them off PBR.
And they actually fit the runners on score reelers as well, those rivets.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, the old Gottlieb 60 score reel runners, they go in them, although you probably should use one slightly longer, but they do fit. Does everyone know what I'm talking about? Oh, here you go. These score reel runners. They're 3D printed. I won't say who printed them in case he's not sort of doing it anymore. They did come from America.
But they're very good.
They're really good. And that guy sent us those. He sent us about 30 of them.
So as everyone knows, the holes at the end, they just break off on the corner.
Yeah, where the clips go.
So you can't get
the clips break in. Away. And the score reels move forward and hit the glass. That hole, that little clip goes through there. And there's where those rivets go. Like I said, those ones I showed you, I think they're 1/8. Yeah, they could be a touch longer, but we get them in.
But they do the job.
They do the job, yeah. But you can buy a longer rivet. On PBR's site, it's in other parts or something or other. You know, it's a bit hard to see. Now, someone asked another question. Oh, okay, you saw the video, you don't remember. Yeah, your other question was about schematics. Okay. Now, that's right, I can't do that here. All right, I'll just bring the schematic over here and I'm going to show you, all right? Just while we're bringing that over, did anyone see our post on our Facebook page the other day? We went out and had a look at a solar city, or delivered one. We delivered one on behalf of a fellow Graham knows, has known him for about 30 years, and he said, I've sold my solar city and I need you to deliver it and install it. And we said, oh, okay, well, we could do that. You know, that was another thing we did. And the recipient happened to be none other than 70s and 80s pop sensation John Paul Young, or Squeak, or JPY. Now, he sang his first hit here in Australia was Pasadena.
Yeah. Good song.
Back in the 70s, about 75. He sang Yesterday's Hero, and I think his most iconic song is Love Is in the Air, and that was featured in the movie. That was featured
in Strictly Ballroom.
Strictly Ballroom, yeah. So he's a really nice guy.
He's a fantastic guy.
We are going back out to see him on Tuesday because the Solar City does need a bit of work, and hopefully get that all going for him. We're going to need to spend about 3 or 4 hours there. We normally don't do it, but we already went to the trouble of carting it out there, and we just found a couple of little problems, and those were some sticky drop targets. So we're going to take all the switches off the back of the drop targets, clean them up with a bit of emery cloth and WD-40. Maybe change the spring, the trigger spring.
And plus it was doing the same thing you were just talking about.
The 0 to 9 unit is seized up.
And where it was going to, instead of game over, it was just going into reset mode.
Yeah, and that was sort of part to do with the snowshoe.
Yeah.
Snowshoes not sitting right.
So we've got to replace them.
Got to do that. And, the replay, the replay unit's all seized up. So.
Yeah, you can still get games. But
so 3 of us are going to go out there. One and a pop bumper needs rebuilding. It's got a broken stop in a coil stop.
And just a few light sockets.
Yeah, that's it. So with 3 of us, one of us will do something each, and that should, triple the time, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hang on, before we go on to here, what else have we got?
Okay.
Oh, hi, Chuck. How are you? I just wanted to know, did I get MA right? That is Massachusetts. Is that correct? Yes, no? I try and figure these things out. I've not been there. I would like to go and have a look at Boston. I think I can have a tea party there, can't I?
Yeah.
Oh dear, that needs a bit of tape on it, doesn't it?
Oh, I just accidentally tore it. But
you did then, did you?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah, I'll get some tape.
You want to fix it up, and otherwise it might get... We'll talk about the schematic in a minute. Yes, so we're going to talk about the schematic a little bit in a minute. On YouTube, there are a couple of people that have done really good job on schematics and explanations using a laptop and probably, drawing software so they can draw the lines on it and everything. And one of those guys is John Robertson. He has a repair business in Canada, been around in coin-op for many, many moons. And he did one called Schematics 101. So you know how you search for things on YouTube? You do that and you'll find John's video. And David Valansky from the Pacific Pinball Museum did one on what you call it, Marco Specialties. They have a technical website. I think it was it. So if you were to Google that, like David Valansky, you'll find that. That's a V for Victor, Valansky. But they're there, pinball schematics, you'll find them. We only do bits and bobs of it because we can't draw the lines on them. You've got to be able to draw the yellow lines or the red lines to show what's going on. We can't do that. We haven't got that technology. Paul Crossack, is it? Paul K? Hello, mates. Hello, Paul. I did get Massachusetts right. Oh, good. I'm happy about that.
Right.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
can we show a quick fix here, Kim?
Yeah, what do you got, Graham?
Well,
you'll have to hold it up.
It's going to be a bit... See how the blade has actually broken off?
Use the pointer so you can... Where is the damn thing? Oh, here it is. You have to paint that again, won't we?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't zoom in with this, I don't think, people. I'm going to try.
Well, the actual end of the end of the blade is broken off right there. So we haven't just blown the pad, we've blown the whole switch off.
Ah.
So what's happened is that bit there is actually broken off.
Righty, yeah.
So you can see that that's the switch we're putting on.
This is the new switch.
Yep.
There.
And this is the remnants of the old switch.
Ah, right. So it's only half of it there.
So instead of unsoldering it, all you got to do is just put that on.
And you're gonna
just jump
it. Yeah.
But first you got to get some cutters and cut the lug off the end.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And then for the length of the switch, you'll I think it's pretty good at the moment, but you can always take a little bit off if you need to.
Right. Very
so
good.
we'll just give that a quick clean.
Okay.
It just saves, like especially if you're in the field doing it, it just saves unsoldering the wire when it's not needed.
Rightio. Very well. You've got Atlanta schematic in front of you trying to study it. Okay, well, hang on. We're going to show you a little bit about that in a minute. Graham's repaired that. But what I want to show you now, here is, we've changed that arm over and it's perfect. Look at that. Falls down on its own. We'll hook the spring on. And that's what should be happening. So what the problem is where's the other, where is it? Here it is here. It's going to be a bit hard to show you, I think. Maybe not.
It was a lot worse than that.
Yeah, we straightened this out yesterday, but can you see at this point here, it's diving inwards a little bit. I don't know if that's visible. Hold my hand behind it maybe. It's diving inwards and it's sort of bent up here as well, and it still is a little bit. But you've got to be careful. You've got to. We had that in the vise, and we're trying to get a pair of pliers onto it. You know, the big pair of duckbills onto it. These are big duckbills, and you know you're trying to bend it, and you know you just got to be really careful what you do. We'll probably work on that a bit and see if we can improve it. But we couldn't. You couldn't let it go like that. So fortunately, we got a lot of parts. Otherwise, you would have had to try and buy one of those, and they're getting hard to get.
Yeah, that'd be.
And remember, we've spoken about this before. These are where the drive pawl sits. This has got that. That's a detent. That thing I got in my hand, a spring-loaded lock. These you get a lot of wear in them sideways and that way. It's because that bit there, that's a shoulder rivet. And I've spoken to PBR about this, and Steve is aware that they are problems. And it's the rivet that wears because it's not lubricated. That people don't lubricate that. There's two styles of those apparently, and he's trying to figure out whether to provide a rivet and risk people hitting it on too hard and mucking it up, or like a nylock nut. You know, one of these nuts with the plastic in the centre, wherever that went. Where'd that go? There it is. Thank God I found it. We're putting a new nylock nut on that. Yeah, thanks, Ward. Yeah, I think someone else already mentioned that. It is the abbreviation for Massachusetts. Yeah, I've got a couple of friends from around, one guy from Gloucester in Massachusetts.
We've got a Gloucester here.
Yeah, we've got a Gloucester. Only about...
Up the country.
Yeah, 50, 60 miles from us.
Nice place.
Yeah, but Chris Liakos, he's a nice guy. He lives up that way. All right, well, one of the first things that you need to understand about Gottlieb schematics, they're drawn in two pieces. So I've got this folded up here. The left side is always the lamp circuit, all right? That's the left side. It's always the lamp circuit. And then you have like Battleship, like what's that game, Battlestar or Battleship? You've got A, B, C, D, and you've got 2, 3. So, you know, you might find something at 3, E. So you go 3, well here it is here, and come right over there's D, and E's going to be here. Oh, here it is here, see? So you then got to follow it down, and what you'll see is all the coils and stuff like so. I just said 3E, like hypothetically. It's a bit hard to do this, but I'm on 3, and I come across, and there's all the names of all the coils. So 3E, that might be referring to the series relay, and that's called the Z relay. And then you've got down here, you've got a reference area, relays, and you look down Z, there it is there, 3E. I don't know if you can read that, but series relay, it's down the bottom there. But you were asking, Patrick, about the score reels earlier on. Well, they're on here, I wasn't sure whether you meant mechanical. There's nothing mechanical on these schematics. But wherever you see dotted lines like this, that means it's a unit. So this is the FS relay disc. That's the match relay. You know, the little pesky little things with the that stick and that, and the tiny circuit board on them, and there's all the match lights. So if none of your match lights were working, it's quite possible that the common wire has come off, and that in this case is a WH, a white wire, which goes via the R relay, and everyone knows the R relay is generally the hold relay on a Gottlieb. So if this make break switch here, indicated by that arrow going like that, wasn't connecting right, no match lights would work. So providing every light globe wasn't blown, you would certainly look there. So that's a very, very simple circuit. And you see how I'm working that out? It's coming. This is a separate line. Yeah, we're running out of room here. This is a separate line coming all the way down to this fuse. Right, so if nothing on that circuit was working, name and scene light, score illumination, etc., all the way up to here, you've got a blown 10 amp fuse on the black-red wire and white wire. Hope this is making a little bit of sense to you. As I said, it's very hard for me to do schematics because we just haven't got the right equipment. Here's another example. Here's the ball count unit, or ball adjust unit, I should say. Yeah, Patrick, they're all the same. All Gottlieb schematics are the same. Let it be said, the hardest schematics to read, in most people's opinion, are Williams. They're a little more difficult. Bally's are reasonable, but they're hard. So here's your 10,000. There's your 10,000 unit score reel here. So this is sort of showing you the point score adjustment. You just got to follow everything around. If you come down here, you'll then see, where is it? What am I looking for? This is most important. Yeah. Once again, that indicates the motor. That's a circle with an M in it, M for motor. There's the motor service jack if the machine has one, so you can turn the motor. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 relays and 1 motor switch involved in running that score motor. So if all your score reels were at 0 and you were happy with all the switches in there and the score motor was still running, one of those relays has quite possibly got a switch that's closed or a tab. You know, the relay tab is shorted together or something like that. So there's the D, the E, the G, the O, the P, the S, the U, the W, and the AX. You like the way I said that? Ooh? I would normally say U. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. That's just to please you viewers. Okay. Here's another thing. Sequence unit in dotted lines. That's whatever the sequence unit is on Jack's Open. And what I was trying to show you, this is where we get into trouble because the thing's too big. There's the 10,000s and the 10s unit. And what else are we looking for? I can't think. The relays, that's what I want to show you. There's the 10-point relay there. Oops, there. That's always the N relay. Good evening from Michigan. Good morning, U of M hockey. M for Mary is always the hundreds relay. There it is there. And the thousands relay is always L. There it is there. So you've just got to follow them about the scoring. And they often have a K relay, which is the 10,000 point relay. The other thing to be aware of when you're looking at these we talk about score motors like we were a minute ago. Most Gottlieb machines have a timing chart. So remember, it shows you a 120 degree cycle there in that little squares and the black boxes. You know, you've got the 3 notches in the score motor. 1, 2, 3, 120, 120, 120, 360 total. A score motor always makes a cycle 120 degrees, and that's what the switch on motor 1C, the inside switch closest to the cam, does. It actually, it's an assurance switch. It makes sure that the score motor gets home. So, I mean, that's just a few little things you look for on schematics. The best thing to do is start on the lighting circuit. Like, we got one here. I'll try and find one. I'm just got the schematic off screen at the moment. Where are we? Yeah, we've got a special light. There's our special light here. Now for that to work, it goes via the 3 and 5 ball adjustment plug. That's because in 3 ball and 5 ball different things happen. 3 ball you often get 2 targets a light for the price of 1. But it has to go through this adjustment plug, which is often overlooked by a lot of people. And the sequence unit, which is a unit here in the dotted line, to make a circuit, it has to have the snowshoe making a circuit with the number 4 position on the sequence unit. Now, I can't quite think, a sequence unit must be a stepper unit of some sort on that game. But if that isn't making a circuit, you're not going to get your specials alight. And also, it controls the shoot for 2 jacks, shoot for 3 queens, shoot for 3 queens and 2 kings, shoot for royal flush, and your special light. And if nothing was really working on that side of the circuit, you've got a H for Harry relay there, which is, let me find it, it's the tilt hold relay. So if that tilt hold relay switch was open, you wouldn't get anything happening in there. Anyway, as I say, it's hard to show you. I've only used my cell phone today, not my tablet. So it's a bit hard to show you those things. Let's see, other people have said things. Hi Jim, Jim Holder, our good friend from PA.
Hey Jim.
How are you, Jim? Hope you've been well. Who else do we have there? I'm sorry, someone said something. I'm having a U of M hockey. I'm having a hard time finding an Indestrag switch for my Gottlieb Eldorado scorer. Any suggestions? Yeah, look, you can always get, you're lucky in America, you can always get these things from Pinball Resource. Now, I know a lot of people don't like buying from there because they haven't got Everink. What? I can use LEDs now? What? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. You can use LEDs now, just use a firmware search. Yeah, these are electromechanical machines. Yeah, you can use LEDs in them, but
we prefer not to.
We prefer not to, but I'm not really sure why you're telling us that. Is there a reason? I was talking about the special lights and that. Is that why you mentioned that? Okay, no worries. Yeah, sorry, getting back to your end-of-stroke switch, but you may have heard what we said. We just get a conventional relay, like a scoring relay, one of them LM or N relays, and you can take the switch out of that. But you can always buy them off the Pinball Resource. You can probably get them off Marco Specialties too. So we just have, we've got a pile of these. Like, There's just an old relay. You know, buy as many of those as you can.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
My God, that's a series relay, Graham. You've given me
there.
No, I fancy that. I'm just mentioning that red wrapper indicates a series relay.
You never know what you find in that drawer.
Yeah, we never know. And they only work very low ohms. They're about what are they? Just over 1 ohm. So, you know, you can get them or you can buy them off the Pinball resource. So, yeah, hopefully you can get one. It's really handy, like this chap we've been talking here with about the schematic, Patrick. I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning his name. He's just getting into pinball, electromechanical pinball, and he's just bought himself some step units off eBay, a drop target bank off eBay.
So I was lucky back when I started, back in the 80s, I could buy a whole machine for $50.
Yeah. Oh, you're just saying that firmware is available to operate these old systems, but with LEDs. Yeah, Arduino and all that. Yeah, we're not into that. We're traditionalists here. But yes, of course you can. We know that, yeah. And if you're into that, that's fine. But the parts that this guy's bought are going to help him a lot. They're going to be able to help him see how things work. And he even bought a whole score motor. And that's really good. Really, really good. We're still going to build our score motor so we can illustrate blocking circuits. We were just talking about that the other day in amongst all the other things we've got to do. So hopefully we'll get that done in the next few months, maybe over winter. We're just going to run that on we've got a pile of US transformers here. So we'll just run that on what we call a step-down transformer. So it steps our 240 volts down to the American 110, 120 volts. That all works pretty good. So you got your switch in there, Graham?
Yeah, it's all good.
All good. Is that your last score reel, is it?
Yeah, and then I've got to start on the relays and.
Oh, okay. Well, I did the AS yesterday.
Oh, did you?
It's done.
Well, that's going to save the.
Yeah, there it is. That's one of those relays there.
Okay. Oh, shouldn't take long to do the other
This is a good one. This is one with no switch on it. So I'll just show you. Can I get this out? See how nice and shiny the circuit board is. So I think I've mentioned before, we use this 3M stuff. Someone put us onto this. Is really good. You know, you don't have to rub too hard. Comes up clean and new like that. And we've done both sides. And now this stepper works really, really well. Look at that spinning around. Oh, hi Mitch. Yeah, we're starting early today. Yeah, we've got
we don't muck around here.
We don't muck around, yeah. Seeing this reminds me of working on fruit machines in the UK.
Well, we've got one here.
Poker machines, slot machines. Yeah, that's right. We got one of those here. Here it is. A Bally.
She's a monster.
Monte Carlo, hold machine.
About 1977.
Yeah, slot machines here in Australia, it's a really funny thing. Each state has their own laws regarding them, and technically, if you're not a licensed, they call them poker machines here, not a licensed poker machine technician, you can be fined heavily for working on them.
That's mainly the later ones, but...
Well, no, it's all of them, actually.
Yeah, but you've got to...
But yeah, it's a funny thing, you know, like I think they're worried that people are going to set up their own little setups at home, you know, for gambling and take profit away from the government. But all the stuff here is it's very heavily regulated, and when a machine is de-licensed, they're all licensed, as you can probably imagine. It's technically supposed to be destroyed. but they don't. They end up in the marketplace. So yeah,
which is a shame. You know, they should be available because they're not just they're just fun to look at sort of thing. They're very attractive machines.
Yeah, well, we know a guy just bought one the other day, and it had no payout coin slides in it, and it's just going to be so therefore it won't work as a poker machine.
No,
and it's just going to be a showpiece. And he's paid himself $450 for that. And I don't know. We tried to tell him not to buy it, but you know he wanted it. Well, who are we to tell him, man, what to do with his money? Good on him if that's what he wanted.
We could sell him something.
Yeah, that's for sure and certain. Yeah, yeah. So he's got the relays out there now. We just moved them out. What did I do with that hairpin clip for there? It was just here. Oh, there it is. Here, yeah. There it is. There.
Yeah, there's some in here.
Yeah, here. I'll pop that in there so we don't lose it. Just getting back to these ASFS relays, they are super, super, super important you get them right. If you don't get them right, you're going to have a lot of trouble. They use this spin unit relay on Kingpin. They use them as spinner relays on different machines like Buccaneer, you know, where the lights all run round with the ship steering wheel and that is there. If you land on that light, you spot it, you know what I mean? So they use them extensively. The other relay that you have trouble with, have we got one on this? Is an AX relay? No, yes, no, no. Yeah, oh, yeah, we got one.
Yeah,
you know, the famous AX relay, you know, these are the ones that you got to...
That one's a bit spongy.
This one is a bit spongy. All right.
I can put a bit of tension
what
on
I'm talking about here, see there's a lot of movement after there.
So I'm going to put some up movement on the longer blades.
So we've done a video on that if you want to have a look. I can't quite get that into view.
No. It's not bad, but it's not great. But I've only got to adjust the switch blades and not adjust the actual relays, which is...
Oh, yeah. So in the UK, most preservation goes toward arcade games. Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, look, Connie Thunder, we've got a number of people in the UK that we've known for years, like Phil Crow, Keith Hand, Giacomo Malverne. You know, they've been in that sort of stuff for years, and I know in the UK machines are expensive, well, a bit like they are here in Australia and things like that. So, yeah, poker machines, or fruities as you call them, certainly do get dumped, and perhaps in the UK they have similar laws to what we have in Australia. I'm not sure, but yeah, we see a few come through here, but we don't like doing them because, as I mentioned, it's not really kosher.
And actually, we haven't really got the time.
And we haven't got the time. Yeah, we could make our half day, 6 half days a week here to 6 full days, and we probably still wouldn't get
we'd still be behind.
Get the work done, and we don't want to do that
because it's just a hobby.
It's our hobby.
Don't want it to be a job.
Yeah, we don't want to make that. Then it takes the fun away from it, and you lose interest. And we've got plenty to do there. So yeah, anyone out there doing anything? Any restorations or anyone got anything happening?
Any pinball shows happening soon?
Yeah, anyone got any pinball? Supposedly all poker machines, no matter how old they are, working on it. Apparently I get asked on a regular basis. Yeah, even owning... So what Mr. Pinballogist is saying, this is a chap, his name's Mitch, he lives up in a place called Warhope, which is about 3 hours away from us. Even owning the artwork is illegal. And it's a $10,000 fine to be caught with it. One guy in a place called Wollongong, which is down south of us here, a few years ago advertised some machines for sale, like on Gumtree or, you know, Craigslist type thing. And he got visited by the police, and they confiscated the machines and gave him a warning that he could be fined $10,000 per machine. So he happily surrendered his machines Because he advertised them. So yeah, it is a grey area really. And as I said earlier, these antique games, the one I showed you a minute ago, it's 1976, 77.
It's part of Australia's history.
Yeah, and it's a Bally machine, so it came out of Chicago, and that particular machine's got the hold buttons on the front, and they never had those in the States, so they're fairly unique to different countries, and Australia was one of them. And that particular machine was made for which market? It's written on the side here. I think it was like Norway or somewhere like that, or Germany, I don't know, some European place. But we sort of ended up with it here somehow. It's a fun game. So Southern Fried Game Room Expo is in 2 weeks in Georgia. Ah, right, okay. Yep, so the big one in Lodi was just on early May. What else we got coming up in the States? We got the, I think there's one, someone mentioned another one to me the other day. I can't keep up with all the names of them. Then you've got the other one in California, Pinagogo, is it? I think that happens in October. Airport. I got back to putting my surf jam back together right now. It's just a strip playfield. I also want to paint inside the cabin. A lot of work, not enough time. Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the White Rose Game Room show is always on the second weekend in October. There's a lot of shows in America, and as I said, our Pinfest is in September, and actually in August, Graham and Brett and the apprentice Kyle are going down to Tasmania. They have a Pinfest down there. I think this is about the fourth one they've run.
Fourth, I think, Kim, yeah. So it's a good show.
Good show, yeah. I just haven't got the time to go down myself, but plus they don't have many electromechanicals.
I think you're on another pub crawl that weekend.
Yeah, you probably will.
Should be good.
You can spend a lot of time on your games. Can you show what your table looks like that you put the playfield on to work on? I might be able to.
We've got the cradle.
You want to build one? Yeah, hang on.
I'm going to bring it over.
Well, can you drag it down?
Yeah.
We'll drag it down and show you. Patrick, if you remind me, I can give you the specifications to make one. Look, this one, we've had it now about 4 or 5 years. It's not perfect, but it's good in respect. There it is. So it's so long, and Graham will just point out there's a channel where you rest the playfield on.
It's an inner channel sort of thing.
Yeah, and it comes down to the bottom, and it's...
and it's sponsored by Gottlieb.
Yeah, it's sponsored by Gottlieb, yeah. The only thing, if we do it again, we cut some holes in the side of it so we can reach in and do stuff.
Yeah. Especially for bumpers as well.
So that's it, yeah. We had it on the bench. Obviously, you've got to turn the thing over yourself, and that can be a bit... If you're on your own, it's a little harder.
That's right, our friend Steve made this.
Yeah, but it's good for what we want. We just sit it here on this very bench here, and one end points to Graham, the other end points to me, and we just get into it. So that's what it looks like. But if you want the specifications on how to build one, we can build one. But people do all sorts of things. They have, what do you call it? Rotisseries and all that sort of stuff.
We haven't got the room for that.
There's a guy, pinball dollies or trolleys. There's different ones. We only acquired a second-hand one a couple of months ago. I mean, it's not the best in the world because 2 of the wheels are fixed. We should have got one with 4 wheels. I mean, we didn't pay a lot of money for it. You pay $400, $500, $600 for a decent one.
We've used it pretty extensively since.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah.
So that's what we do there. So yeah, cradle. That's the word. Yeah, correction. It's in 3 weeks, June 20th. Okay. Oh, forget how well made they are. Well, yeah, no, we don't, because we're working on them every day. They were all very well made. And you've got to bear in mind, all this stuff was only designed to last 5 years, and then off it went, because people get tired of playing them. We often acknowledge the designers and manufacturers of these games, the engineering on them, itself alone was with what they had, relays and switches and step units, was amazing. It's incredible to think what they did. These pinball machines and that essentially are analog computers, and the scoring motors are just brilliant. The way how they do things. We've spoken about this many times. All right, well, we've been going about an hour now. That's about all we generally go for. We're happy to answer any further questions before we go, if anyone has any. It'd be really good if this could be interactive, voice and video interactive, but it's not. So we'd have to use something different, like Facebook Messenger, but then it can only handle so many conversations at once. Did I see your question about springs? No, hang on. Oh, okay. No, all we do with the spring, where's that stepper? Okay, this spring here is a bit rusty. All right. No problem. I could put that in vinegar if I wanted for 5 minutes. Well, probably a bit longer than 5 minutes. I'm going to make a bit of noise so I can do this. Can you sort of see the difference there? Obviously that's just very quickly, but you can kind of see where I've been cleaning it. So you can do that. But putting it in vinegar is great. It's ideal. White vinegar is a really good rust remover. Yeah, I know you can buy a vapor rust and all that, but that costs a shit ton of money.
Well, this is only about 40 cents a litre.
Yeah, it's really cheap, and that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, the modern pinball, I've been to those factories where they build those modern pinball machines, and, without being rude, they're nowhere near the quality that these 60s and 50s games and 70s games were, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, oh, well, you saw that, did you, Patrick? Yeah. So, there's all sorts of things you can do. I mean, look, this brings you into the argument of fully reconditioning a pinball machine and shopping one, as people tend to call it. The big difference is a full rebuild, recondition is new side rails, new chrome things, new paintwork, new back glass, playfield restored, and it could cost the owner a lot of money. But shopping the machine is generally, repairing the machine, going right through it like we do here. Start off with the head box, then we'll move on to the playfield and under the playfield, then we'll do the motorboard, then we'll put it all back together and troubleshoot. And hopefully when we put it all back together, it all works. A great example of that is the machine that left here earlier this week, which was an ice show. We had very little to do to that.
That was a
we
really
put it
nice
back
show.
together, and it pretty well went perfectly.
Yeah.
Except we had about 4 faulty lamp sockets.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a Weller. We just bought that. We're very happy with it. We've got that currently set at 450 degrees, and these have a timer in them. After you haven't used it, you can set it from anywhere from 2 minutes to about 15 minutes going into the menu, and we've got that set at 5 minutes. So depending on how long it is since Graham used it, you'll start to see the temperature drop down. And it's got a really nice long cord on it too, which is really cool. So I'm going to also buy a Weller handheld gun. I think it's about 60 watts. Actually, I've got to do that. That took us a while to get. Oh, and there's tomato sauce to have in our meat pies, which we have every Saturday morning.
Yeah, pie day.
Pie day. There you go, he's doing all the work again. I do all the talking.
These ones here are a bit spongy too. Kim's going to need a Bit of upstroke.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's an interesting thing. So he's got a relay here, and he's not happy. What we look at is, you see that
There.
that tab.
That's got to be...
Now I'm pushing down in that relay, and it's very spongy going. See, it's slow. It should snap up.
And the thing is, like, what you look for with these blades, where the blade goes through the comb, see that? That's got to be flat to the top of that comb. If not, this is going to travel before it does anything. See, you can see that moving, that the switchblade's not even moving yet. So
that's correct, yeah. The switchblade hasn't moved because it's too far away in the comb. Does everyone follow that? If you don't, we've done a close-up video on this about relays. It's hard to see. As I say, in this live, I haven't figured it out yet, but it doesn't appear I can zoom. So, and always check to make sure that the screws are tight too.
Yeah, I've done that.
Those screws, you always make sure they're tight.
These are tight, actually.
Yeah.
Very tight.
Okay. Okay, so you recommend welders then? Yeah, Connie, I was told that they were good, or I knew they were good, and we were doing it on the cheap and going to a local electronics chain here in Australia and buying their irons. And, like, honestly, you know, the temperature controlled one that we bought, we only bought one less than a year ago, and it already started to fail. We had to repair it. So I said, screw this. So that iron there in Australia cost us $280. So that's, you know, you're in the UK, so that's £140 more or less. I don't know what they're worth over there. I can assume they're probably about the same. But yeah, we're pleased with that. We use a soldering iron every day, and we've got to have a good one. I've still got a lot of tools from when I'm in my office machine days, and a lot of those tools are 50-year-old. And some of those tools that I've got were given to me by tradesmen who were, you know, been in the game a long time. So I've got some tools that I reckon are 80-year-old. And they're still great, still work. Yeah, Spanky's here somewhere. Where's Spanky, Graham?
He's up with Skanky.
Oh, there he is. There's Spanky. He's down there overseeing Graham's work. Yeah. Where is he? There he is. You've got to get in the picture, haven't you, goat?
He's getting ready to go to Tassie.
Yeah, getting ready, all right. Yeah. Right. So you're happy with that now?
Yeah.
And I think we've shown you all this before. There's a really badly damaged one, you know, current, the switch arcing or whatever, and it's actually burnt a hole clean in it. I can fit that screwdriver through it, see?
Yeah.
So you got to look out for things like that. We'll be teaching all that in our training course. Anyone wants to make the trip?
From America?
Yeah.
We'll give you this.
Come on, Patrick, you can do it. Come on over. Tell the wife, bring the wife and kids. Yeah, okay. Don't forget to keep an eye on our Facebook page for what's going on. Like I said, we mentioned the signs earlier. Well, that's where we'll announce it. Don't forget, we'll be doing those live broadcasts maybe once a week. Hopefully we'll do a video at John Paul Young's and talk to him about pinball and some of his songs next week if he's got the time. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, Spanky's looking forward to that.
Spanky is, yep. Yeah, he's a big fan.
He is.
Spanky always says there's love in the air.
Yeah, when he saw him, there was a bit of love there.
Or was it lust?
Could have been a bit of both, I
think.
My
God.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah.
Dear me. Spanky, you must behave when you're at JP Wise. Yeah, don't forget, if you want to donate to us, you can give us a super chat right here. Or in our videos, you can give us a super thanks anything you donate to us goes towards the Goat Shed Pinball Fund, keeping the dream alive for other people. Helps us pay for our bloody well of soldering iron that we had to invest in. What else can we do? Well, as I said, unless anyone's got any more questions, I think we've been going on a little bit longer than we normally do. Anyone? I'll just wait for a few moments. We've been going 1 hour and 10 minutes. My voice is getting... I'll have to lubricate it on the pub crawl this afternoon.
You taking Spanky?
No, he's not allowed.
Oh,
no, he got horribly drunk last time and disgraced himself. Shocking. And he's been banned from some pubs.
Yes. So, just got a couple of reloads and how's the credit meter going, Kim?
Oh, yeah, all right. We've got the famous... I haven't really looked at that. This is one of those games. They made about 12 or 13 games with this credit meter that only went up to 9.
I heard the owner don't really need a credit meter.
He probably doesn't. He'd never get a free game. He's a hopeless player. We'll have to check that out. We've done a video. We call these the half-moon credit units. They were invented to try and stop theft. You can't virtually push them down easily to ring things up or rack games up.
No.
So half-moon credit unit, we've done. Worst thing is the coil plungers just probably need doing. That's probably all we've got to do to it.
Yeah.
But it is a video on how to pull them right apart. It's not hard to do.
They're just the main adjustments of these wire form things for the gearing.
Yeah. There was a bit of an old scorecard jammed in the switch to keep it closed.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? All right, people. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll say to you, thanks very much for joining us this morning. We hope you learned something. I just heard on the wireless this morning, people that are curious, well, probably biologists have worked out they could live an extra 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, should be pretty right then.
Yeah.
We're curious, and working on pinball machines keeps the old brain active, especially when you get a bit older. Like me. God knows. Someone said to me, you may only have 10 summers left. Gee, that's scary, isn't it? 10 summers. You never know, do you? Anyway, we'll get going. Once again, thanks very much for joining us. We really do appreciate your support. We enjoy chatting with you in these broadcasts. And we'll see you next time. What do you reckon, Graham?
I think so. I think it's going to be a bit of a lazy day today, but it's good. Saturdays are good.
Yeah, sorry, I missed a few. Heiko was pretty good. Wow, that got a little toasty. I really want to come over. If you pay for the sausage, you'll come over. Yeah, we had them yesterday.
We did.
Nice to speak with you guys. Glad you Aussies are working hard in restorations in the UK. All right, okay, people. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.